Hello and welcome to the RBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Awards workshop on how to write an award-winning application. Right now, we're in Module 3, which is the business overview. In past years, we have asked for a full business plan, and this year, we're only asking for the incredibly easy and simple task of an overview. See, I told you we made it better for you this year. This is the section where you have the opportunity to share your vision and how you are making it a reality. Are you ready? I know you are. In the business overview, there are 6 sections: strategy, operations, human resources, marketing, financial performance, and appendix. In this module, we will cover 1 through 4, and in Module 4, we'll cover the financials and appendix. In this overview, we are really looking for a basic understanding of your business and how you are being so extraordinary. The reason why we do that is because this is the best way for our judges to evaluate comparing application to application, because if they're in the same format with the same recipe and it similarly looks like a business plan, and our judges are trained in reading and evaluating business plans, this is the best way for them to understand and compare from one business to another, even though they sometimes look very different. So let's dive in. Strategy. This section has a word count of about 1,300 words. Each section, each bullet point that you see here is a 150-word limit. So as you're going through, this is not requiring a huge amount of work or essay writing or thought, but it is a lot of questions that are looking for clear, concise, bullet point, even is fine answers. So let's go through each one. Describe your business and the products and services offered. Easy, you should know this, and it should be 1 to 3 sentences, and you're done. Number 2, what did you set out to accomplish? What was the gap in the marketplace, or what was the dream that you had? What was the vision here? Next, what are the top achievements this business has accomplished to date? This is where we are looking for specifics. What milestones have you had both written down and you have felt a personal sense of satisfaction in achieving, that were potentially closing a big new client or getting some really great feedback? These are things that we want to know about and when you achieve them. And next to that, to what do you attribute those achievements? So provide specific tactics and strategies. I'll give you an example here of what not to do. A lot of entrepreneurs start high level in this response and attribute success to passion, determination, a committed team. We know that. And this is sort of a universal truth. Everyone applying for this award probably has a degree of passion and determination and a strong committed team. We're looking for the deeper answer here. What are the specific tactics, strategies, ideas that you implemented that led you to achieve success? Go on and tell us. The next is, how have you adapted to the current economic climate? This is really key of a great entrepreneur who has had potentially something change in their industry or have gone through a recession in the economy, as we all have. How have you adapted your business plan? How have you shifted and changed your strategy to reflect that, and how has that helped your business succeed? Next, what is your next stage of growth? This is key in every single award category. Judges absolutely want to know that you have thought through the next big plan for you in your growth in your business, and that you have set specific financial milestones. Perhaps you have product or service extensions. Perhaps you've planned location expansion and exporting. This is what the judges are absolutely looking for. What is that next stage of growth? And next to that, what do you need to do in order to achieve it? Do you need additional funding from investors or loans? Do you need additional resources like new experts in your senior team? Detail all of this out to make sure that you've thought through it and how long it's going to take you to get to that next stage. Next, how does your plan differentiate you from your competition? You should absolutely know this, and if you remember back in business school courses, the SWOT analysis, what are your strengths and weaknesses over your competition? We want to see that you've thought through this and you have a unique offering. And lastly, what is your company's long-term plan for the business? I know this is a tough one and we all resist thinking it, but it is key. What is the big goal? Growth, an IPO, the succession plan? How are you going to exit? If you don't have an answer today, this is a great time to sit down and think through what that plan might be. Operations. This section is really trying to get at one question. How do you run your business? But let's break it down into some more simple extensions. Depending on what industry you're in, share details on how you have set up your production and manufacturing, your inventory and distribution. In other words, how you make your product, how you store it, and then ship it out to your customers. Or how you cultivate your service, develop it, and share it with your customers. You're either in the product or service business. You definitely have something that you're offering, so we want to know how you do that. Be specific here. Then tell us how many locations you own and operate. Do you have a head office? Do you have plants? Do you have people located across the country that sell your product or service? Talk to us about that and how you maintain it. Then what equipment, technology, database, partnerships, or trademarks are essential to doing your business? So if you have a partnership that helps you disseminate your service across the country and they form a big part of what you're selling, that's really key for the judges to know, because if you didn't have that partnership, for example, anymore, it would really change your plan. So make sure you're listing all the things that are essential for you to operate. And lastly, what specific operational procedures do you believe are particularly effective in running your business successfully? Or processes or approach that you implemented that is uncommon among your competitors or industry standards? We want to know what sets you apart, what makes you extraordinary. This is the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Awards, and we know you've got some really great ideas, and we want to hear them from you. Human resources. This is really key. Describe your current job description as the chief decision maker. You'll remember we talked about the definition of chief decision maker earlier, being we know that the CEO or the entrepreneur that runs this business is a jack of all trades. We know you're doing a lot, but try and be specific here and show us how much you're influencing that business, where your hands are, where you're developing. Are you an expert in the marketing, or are you a genius in the finances? Where is your specific talent? But then second to that, what's the name and title of your second most senior executive in the company, and what's their relationship to you? So we want to understand how you're being supported and how your number 2 or 3 or 4 is complementing your specific skill set. And I'll mention again here, if you have a partnership with a man, you absolutely need to be very clear on what their job description is versus what your job description is, because it is important that you are the chief decision maker and that is not a shared role. This is the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Awards, so the woman has to be the chief decision maker here. We've had many situations where there have been male and female winners, but the man in the partnership had very specific skill sets and expertise that were used in running the business, but the woman was the CEO, the chief decision maker, and she was running the business. So again, and if you have a female partnership where there's one or more of you, you should apply together. Okay, and then number 3 here, describe any innovative human resource practices for management of your employees. So do you have a really unique employee development plan, for example? that really keeps everyone motivated and at your organization contributing to 100%, that would be something that would be a great thing to detail here and how you monitor that. Next, your marketing plan. So define your ideal target market. This can be bullet points or a paragraph in describing them, what their age and gender and what they look like. Describe them a bit. And what would be also really helpful is if you shared how large that target market is, whether that's Canada or North America or global, and even better yet, if you could identify the percentage of that target market that you currently sell to. Next, how do you communicate or advertise with your target market? This would be a high-level plan, and we're looking for how you basically get out there into the market and talk to your customers. And second to that, describe how you most successfully sell to your product or service. So we're looking for how do you get out there and what's working best. So if your business is an online e-commerce business, how are you getting those people to see your website? And then how are you really successfully selling to them? And look at that, you're almost there. You've made it through the business overview and you are doing great. See, it wasn't too painful, was it? What I recommend you do is to answer all of those questions online and then put it away for a night or a week or however long you can. Hopefully you've left yourself some time before the deadline. But then go back to it and ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, does your application communicate the spirit and the passion of an entrepreneur? We know you've got a lot of those 2 things, so make sure that your application reflects it. Number 2, have you shared what makes you and your business extraordinary? This is the Entrepreneur Awards, so we are looking for someone who's really, truly being extraordinary. So how do you show that? Make sure you list your accomplishments. Make sure you tell us when you have had big wins, because we won't be able to read through the lines. And next, is the information you've shared clear, concise, and proofread? Proofread, proofread, proofread. Make sure you have someone who hasn't been so close to this material that they can catch your typos, because there's nothing worse than having a typo diminish the hard work that you've done. Then ask your big questions and comments in our LinkedIn group. Don't forget, there's a lot of resources there with fellow candidates, with past winners, and with sponsors who all want to see you succeed. And lastly, join us in Module 4 for financial performance and the appendix. We'll see you there.